Well, hello, my beautiful Aries. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for mid-March right through to mid-April 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aries, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aries? What do they need to know regarding their career and money situation at this time? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be focusing on during this period? Well, we've got the Death card as your starting position card. So some changes going on in your working environment. These could be changes that you are implementing in order to be more efficient. And also a lot of you, because the Death card can signal renewals, it can be that you're looking at contract renewals, subscriptions, for example, maybe even service providers, or anything that perhaps has a rolling contract to it. Some of you may be looking at expiry dates as well this month regarding like visas, passports, or anything that you feel is coming to the end of its term. But, you know, the Death card can signal for a lot of you that something needs to change in your working industry, and you're being a bit of a maverick and going out there boldly to either make those changes, or some of you could be leaving a position, but it's your volition. You're doing it of your own volition there. So it feels like you could be leaving to go towards something new, because of course the Death card, it's transformation, but also it can indicate that something better is on the horizon for you, and you're making space for something greater to come on in. So we'll tap into that in a moment. We've got the star energy, so a lot of recognition for something that you're doing. I do see here that you're in alignment with something that you want to be on target with. And the Hermit can also indicate, because that is your final card of the overarching energy, it can indicate that you are limiting distractions in order to focus on something. I mean, some of you may even be going solo on a project or a business endeavor that's going to be very successful indeed. It's something that is your calling, something that I feel is connected to your sense of purpose, and you may be transforming the way that you work because of it. We've got the Page of Pentacles, which can often indicate new money coming on in here, in a very competitive arena with that Five of Wands energy, but I feel there's no competition. I'm being given this energy, and I'm not blowing smoke up here, you know what. I'm being given this energy, especially with that Three of Cups, that you're someone who is head and shoulders above the competition. You're someone who is to be celebrated in your industry or in your working environment, whoever you may be, and whatever it is that you will do. So we got that Three of Wands, expanding your horizons. So this could be a new money-making idea for some of you. I will tap into the energy properly when I get all of the energy. I mean, you've got 2 fives here, Five of Wands, Five of Swords. They're in the resistance position, which basically means that, you know, you've got a lot on your mind and you have a lot on your to-do list, but you're going to breeze through it. It means that, you know, if you've been under a lot of pressure or challenge recently, the next coming weeks will be a little bit easier, or you complete maybe a project or a task or responsibility that has been very frustrating, and suddenly, you know, you are on the home straight, or you're doing something that you love and you've completed something that was difficult or challenging, and now you're on to the next. Okay, so I just want to tap into this energy for some of you if you've come to this reading and you're currently out of work. Okay, because some of you with that Death card, it can be that, you know, something you were doing came to an abrupt end. It can be that either you were made redundant, or you were, in a position where you had to leave because either the contract ended, or some of you, it may have been a very toxic environment and you decided to, value yourself in a way where you decided to disconnect and look for alternative opportunities. I want you to be aware, even though the job market is like oversaturated now, and you may feel that sometimes people are saying that you are overqualified for some of the positions, which basically means that you're really awesome at what you do, okay? And, the companies that you're applying to, it could be that they're budgeting, cutting back in some way. We're seeing a lot of redundancies going on in lots of different industries, but I want you to be aware, even if you're currently out of work and you're looking for something new, there is something coming on in. Something that you will celebrate, something that you'll absolutely love. It's like a dream opportunity. And we've got that Three of Cups, which means you'll celebrate this opportunity. Something brings joy here. It's going to help you develop in your industry, whatever it is that you do. There's a celebration, but it's like receiving something that you are going to really remember for the rest of your career. This is a monumental moment for a lot of you. Now, if you've been made redundant or you've been going through a challenging time out of work, I want you to be aware sometimes, the storm comes not to kind of get in your way or make you be in a stagnant path. Sometimes a chaotic time can actually clear your path. The storm is meant to clear the pathway towards this opportunity, okay? Many, many years ago, and this reading is not about me, but I'm just remembering many, many years ago, I had a job that, it paid really well. It was very toxic, but I stayed because I needed the money. It benefited me and my family, of course, and I had numerous signs to leave this position, and suddenly, everything changed. And I felt very cautious. I felt very worried, very still in a position. It's almost like I was in shock for a while there. But actually, it was the universe's way of saying all change, and the universe suddenly started delivering opportunities to me that felt effortless, like I wasn't chasing them. So I want you to be aware sometimes change happens in an industry to show you a better way or offer you a better deal. So I want you to be aware of that. I know, something you're wishing for is coming your way. It gives you more kind of creative control. It also feels like it's a very encouraging role where you will really thrive and you fit in. So, with that Three of Cups, it's like a family feel or a welcoming feel where you just get on with people and they're very supportive. It's like a team if you're going for a company. And if you're an entrepreneur and you have an entrepreneurial spirit and you're actually launching something, for some of you, I mean, it could be that, you've decided since you're out of work that you're deciding to become your own boss, for example, and set something up. I feel like whatever your product is or your service is going to be really well received. And actually it will grow into something that flourishes and may even, I'm being given this long-term brand energy. So it's something that will be around for a very long time. Okay. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to disconnect from that energy and connect to the majority energy here as well. For those of you who are currently in a role or an industry, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you are an independent worker, freelancer, or you work for a company, change is afoot, okay? So this could be a change in the way that you work. For some of you, it could be that you're utilizing new technology, software, apps, or, dare I say it, AI for some of you. I mean, you are someone who's a maverick, so you would really embrace futuristic kind of opportunities there so that you can be more independent or more efficient in your working environment. So it could be that if you work for a company, maybe your company is bringing new technology in, or for some of you, if you're an entrepreneur or an independent worker, it could be that you utilize something that actually benefits you and streamlines your time so that you're more time efficient and that you have more time for you there as well. But the transformation card, a lot of you, this could also be rules or regulations or policies changing in your industry, maybe even contracts. For some of you, if you work for a company, there could be some behind the scenes merge going on, and it feels very much like there's some sort of deal on the table that is going back and forth right now. And when this happens, it can be that it's going to be a change of contract. And if you are someone who's in a company that offers you a new contract, you know, the Page of Pentacles can be the start of this new financial contract. It means anything that went before is nullified. Okay, so if you had really good benefits or opportunities in that contract, you want to make sure that you still get that, especially if you've been working in an industry or a company for many, many years. It's almost like a fresh new start, even though you've been in the company for some time. This will change, for example, like redundancy packages and things like that. So it will literally like transform your contract if there's a merge going on. And for some of you, I mean, looking at the energy, a lot of you, it benefits you in a more positive way. But I feel like pay close attention to any new contracts just to make sure that you have what you want in that contract and nothing is missing from it. Okay, so looking at your cards, I got to be honest, I feel there's this energy here of like benefiting from it in some way. So it could be that there's going to be more opportunity to rise through the company or more opportunity to make new money, bonuses, things like that, because there is some sort of change. Now, if you're an entrepreneur or an independent worker, this could be that you feel something needs to drastically change either in your industry or in your way of working. I mean, the Death card can also signal that, you know, you're ending a product, for example. Perhaps you're taking it out of service, or you are starting something new to replace it. For example, it could be that, you know, you are discontinuing a line of something, or you are basically transforming it in some way, changing it so it's more attractive to the public. Could also be a change in the way that you market or, you know, promote yourself in some way. For example, it doesn't always have to be about a product or a service or an industry. It can be that you're changing something about the way that you work that actually just feels like you're lighter, that you're more in alignment with something right now. But I mean, that Death card, something big is ending. And the Page of Pentacles, because as something ends, I mean, this could be like you're on the precipice of something big here. Could be the end of fear or the end of a strategy point. Could be the end of planning something and now you're launching something new, for example. As you can see, the only way is up on that card, and whatever direction or industry that you're in right now, I feel this Page of Pentacles is a start of new money, okay? For some of you, this could be a new job. If you're putting your resume out there, finding new opportunities, pages bring news. So I would say there's some financial news that's really exciting for you there. For some of you, this could be a rebate. You know, if you've done your tax return, for example, it could be a rebate. Also, with that Page of Pentacles, it could be the start of a new money-making idea that actually is going to expand, because as you can see, some sort of new money is going to expand your horizons. Three of Wands is an expansion card. It means, you know, success through being in the right place at the right time, but also you're accomplished already. You've hit some sort of milestone in your career, and right now you're visionary planning, which means, you know, you're seeking things further in the future there, and I feel you're doing something to benefit you and your children if you have a family, for example. I mean, Page of Pentacles is an indication that there could be some small increase in your finances over the next coming weeks or months there. It could be in alignment with inflation for some of you. It could also be quarterly bonuses if you work for a company where there are quarterly bonuses. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be that you're unlocking some money from your business, for example, like a dividend, or, you know, your financial situation is changing in some way to expand, okay? But also, a lot of you, this could be like money-making ideas with people, because we've got that Three of Cups there. So it could be a group of you, whether it's friends or family, thinking of like money-making ideas, even like perhaps selling pre-loved goods in the home space, things that are gathering dust. It could be that you're making a little sideline there as well. So please take it as it resonates and apply it to your situation. It's going to be different for all of you. You know, I am giving different scenarios, for example, to just highlight what I mean by the energy. And, you know, it may not exactly fit your situation, but you can apply the situation, you know, as like a parallel to whatever it is that you're going through. But what I am also being given here by my guides is, you know, some of you, if you work for a company, I see some sort of like gift or cake being put on your desk, or maybe just a card signed by lots of people, for example, your team, you know, because we do have Three of Cups, which can be celebration or gift. And of course, we're moving into your birthday season, my beautiful Aries. So that could be something that's there. But also, I mean, if you're like an entrepreneur and you have clients, you may actually get a nice surprise gift from a client, or even like a card of recognition saying, hey, you know what? I just want to say, first of all, happy birthday, but also you're doing an awesome job. And, you know, I see like this energy of word of mouth right now around you. So even if you're like an independent worker who utilizes the internet and no one like interacts with you, like you sell products online, for example, I really get this sense that word of mouth is happening. There's this energy of like people saying, oh my gosh, I got this product or I use this service and it's incredible, because threes are all about expansion. And I just feel here that you have the knowledge, the hard work, and you are expanding in some way. And Three of Cups and Three of Wands can be like dream work is teamwork, of course, and vice versa, you know, teamwork is dream work. But also I get this energy of like you expanding on opportunities or on something that started already. You know, this could be an idea that you've had and you've already put things in motion. I mean, Page of Pentacles is your commitment to prosperity. It's also the first signs of tangible success, like undeniable evidence that all your hard work is paying off. So it could be that, you know, if you've applied for a permit, for example, suddenly you're granted the permit and you can celebrate that you got this. For some of you, it could be that you've been reinvesting in yourself and knowledge at this time, and you're going to get a qualification or certification. Now, Page of Pentacles can also indicate a very youthful energy. So it can be that you're excited about something, or even revisiting something that you thought about a long time ago, maybe even like a pipe dream you had when you were younger. I feel like now's the time to start something fresh and exciting that keeps you rolling forward. And for some of you, because we do have this sense of expansion, Three of Wands and Three of Cups can be that you're doing alternative things. So it could be that you're doing one thing already and now you're going to launch something new as a complementary path towards bringing in different streams of money, second streams of money, third streams of money for some of you. But that Three of Wands is expansion. Also, I feel a lot of you may change something about the path that you're on, because I feel like you're on the right path and you're making great choices for yourself. But the Three of Wands is being confident in what you're doing so far, and, you know, having financial returns delivered to you that feel even better than you expected. So it just feels like something you start is going to expand so exponentially. And it could be just an idea, could be a new way of working that kind of transforms your working environment, maybe a new software program or something that frees you up, because, you know, this is like more free time for you with that Hermit energy. It could be that you are, you know, gathering a lot of courage and energy right now to make some changes to become your own boss. You know, the Hermit is a solo energy. So it could be that either you're becoming like an entrepreneur, or some of you, if you're already an entrepreneur, it could be that you're feeling a little bit isolated in your industry and you want to have more networking opportunities. There could be an event with that Three of Cups that you attend and you meet some people that you really love and they give you like nuggets of truth about the industry, or maybe even an opportunity to collaborate there as well. Some of you, not all of you, but if you are an entrepreneur or an independent worker, and if you work from home, for example, it could be that you decide to integrate a little bit more, or even contemplate like a co-working space. Because we have the Hermit there as well, some of you could be like, you know what, I'm already involved in a co-working space and it's distracting. I feel a lot of you are trying to make some big changes or have a new project that you really want to focus on over the coming weeks and months, and it's like you're limiting distractions. So you could be like moving away from a team or maybe working from home as opposed to a co-working environment in order to really focus and not have any distractions there. Now we do have the manifestation card. It's in the resistance position, okay? It will go into the upright, but the resistance position can indicate that you're trying to limit any distractions or scattered energy. There is this energy here of some of you returning to a project that you felt that you wasted time on or didn't go the way you'd hoped for first. But I feel like you're older and wiser, and also I feel like you're not starting from scratch on this, you're starting from experience, and I feel like you pick this thing up, whatever it is. It feels very much like put to the sidelines, like, you know, I'll do that later, or I'm just frustrated with it right now and I'll just come back to it. But you will return to this over the coming weeks and months. And actually the way you tweak it, you're really proud of yourself and happy. And a lot of you, it could be that it's now coming to a close, or you're ready to like launch it to the public, for example. Three of Cups can be people viewing it. For some of you, it could be like a publishing deal, or you partner up with like a PR company for some of you, or There's a networking opportunity where people see something that you've been working quietly on behind the scenes. Could even be like presentation opportunity, because I'm just getting this sense that you reveal something you've been working on and actually it's like a success. So even something as important as like a presentation or an appraisal, for example, it feels like a success. Some of you could be launching a new product or a new way of working, or even like a step into a new industry, even a new role. It can be that at first it's daunting because it's something new, but then I feel suddenly you're on it and it's just something that you're really proud of yourself for getting to this milestone, and you'll celebrate it. Three Cups is a celebration, and even people celebrating you doing something that you've been developing or something that you have achieved right now. I mean, of course, some of you could be really changing the way that you work, and you're really like focused and locked on to your projects in order to tie up loose ends before you celebrate your birthday, for example. Some of you could be going on a vacation or having a quick trip away in order to like just have some downtime, and this gives you thinking time as well as enjoying yourself. But you know, something you have been manifesting, it feels like it's out of reach or it hasn't happened for you just yet. And some of you may feel in the role or the project that you're focused on right now that you haven't reached your full potential on it. But it's almost like I'm being given this energy of, and this has come up twice now, it's like head and shoulders above the rest, above the competition, because the Five of Wands, which is competition, is in the resistance position along with the Five of Swords, which means there is no competition at this time. And it indicates as well that everything that you felt was hard won or has been frustrating to come together, because there could be different compartments of whatever it is that you do that make a whole. It feels like it's not fitting, but it will. And suddenly you can see your vision come to life, because this card will go into the upright there. Now, I feel like you are going to fulfill your potential. That's what I'm being given here. And with the Magician card, it tells me that you're someone who's very talented. Even something new that you're trying your hand at, I just feel like naturally you're gifted and you like learn it straight away. So if it is like new technology, you're probably not like me, where, you know, if there's new technology, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? I need like a manual. I need like a handbook. I probably won't even read the handbook or the manual, even though it's there. I'll try and work it out, but it'll take me a long time. You're someone who is like a maverick. You like futuristic things. There's this energy of like, you having this vision of how it will benefit you and like getting excited about it and learning about it, unlocking it, and then you're running with it. It just feels like a very exciting time for you. And, you know, getting this card, it tells me you're someone who is good at everything that you turn your hand to, and that this is a couple of weeks where you're going to be very focused. I'm being given this sense of peak performance. So for some of you, it could be a review. If you've got an appraisal, you know, even if there's been a lot of conflict or drama in your working environment, especially if you work for, you know, a company, it could be that, you know, things get sorted out because now they're seen or brought to the table to discuss. And it feels like an easier working environment where people are working now as a team and not being overwhelmed, for example. A lot of you, I mean, these two cards can indicate that you are mentally and physically exhausted right now. You are like running a period of your life where there's so much to do, and people or situations keep moving the goalposts, where there's always something, and you feel like a lot of pressure. You know, I'm just got to give you what the energy that I'm feeling. It's like you feel a lot of pressure, but I feel you're someone who transforms under pressure. You may not like it, but it's almost like, you know, you bring your A game when there is pressure. So I'm just being given this sense of you either having a target to hit in the next coming weeks and hitting it, but you're under a lot of pressure, or there's a project that has been challenging and you are aware that you have to finish it in order to start something new. There's been some problems there that you've had to solve, but I feel you're on target and, you know, you launch yourself into something new. And I feel there is some sort of reward or recognition for this. Now, interesting, I'm being given a song with these two cards. That's why I felt a little bit of disruptive energy when I was talking about this pile. I'm being given a song, very famous song by Katy Perry, actually. I think it's called Hot and Cold. So normally I would attribute that song to like romance. So some of you, you know, if you're experiencing some sort of industry romance right now and the person is blowing hot and cold, could be that that's on your mind right now and you're trying to like launch yourself into work and forget about it. But For some of you, this could be, because this is a career and money reading, it could be that you're like, either if you work in an office, it could literally be like an aircon battle. For example, it could be that someone's putting up the aircon and it's like super cold, and maybe you're going through something personal where you're like flushing hot and cold. It could be like menopause, for example. I'm not really sure, but it could also be, if I like hone it down to the energy of this song, it could be like someone being really inconsistent over the next coming weeks. If you have to rely on like a product or a service to get your job done, it could be that either there's a delay and maybe the customer services is blowing hot and cold, or if you are about to do a deal, someone could get cold feet on it. Maybe you're doing a deal and you're like being inconsistent about your decision about something. But I would say if you're dealing with someone inconsistent, get it in writing, okay? If this is a boss, for example, or someone who's new, because some of you could actually see like a new hire come into the working environment, and this person, they've got their eye on the big prize. And everybody who's worked in the industry also has that. So I feel it could be that someone is not willing to do the work, but they want the success. So you could deal with someone who's very inconsistent. And if you have to train somebody, for example, and you give them a set of like rules or policies or tasks that they have to complete, this person may not complete them, and they may like be very distracted, is what I'm seeing. So I would say put it in writing so that they can't turn around to you if you verbally ask them to do something and they haven't done it. Then they can say, oh, you didn't tell me that I had to do that. And it could reflect badly on you. So I would say, if there is some sort of like internal kind of like email service, or even just email, or even a text, it could be just, highlight what it is that you need them to do, like bullet points of what they need to do. And then you've got it in writing, especially if they're very inconsistent. Again, it could be a boss that you're dealing with or someone that you rely on in your industry. I mean, it could also be rules or regulations. Perhaps there's some new changes coming on in that haven't actually been implemented just yet, and you feel like you don't know where you stand until the policy is put in. So it could be that if this policy has been talked about, or this rule or regulation has been talked about for years, but it's never actually been implemented, it could seriously be on the table right now. And you're like, okay, well, I can't make any changes until I know where I'm at. So I feel like I'm just going to keep an eye on things and just keep doing what I'm doing. So that's something that's coming through there as well. Yeah, I'm also getting perhaps someone has like promised you something. For some of you, it could be a raise or a promotion or some sort of new opportunity, and either they're avoiding the issue, or they've promised something and it's like hot and cold. Are you going to get it or you're not going to get it? I feel a lot of you, there is this energy of you being offered something that you will love, but perhaps it's not exactly what you thought it would be. So if your boss has promised you a raise or a promotion, it could be that, you're offered like a nice amount of money, for example, but it could be the title is off. Perhaps the title isn't something that you expected. Maybe you expected, because I'm being given this sense of like a higher title or a more prestigious title, but you're still offered a wonderful title. It just feels like something's off. For some of you, if you are dealing with like a client or someone in your industry who is offering you a deal or an opportunity, when it's offered, you could be like, oh, okay, there's something that's changed about it. And, you may kind of have to negotiate a better deal there. I feel like you will. That's what I'm seeing there. But that's something that's coming out there, because these can be conflicting cards. It's like something you were told or expected. Suddenly there's like a conflict there, or suddenly it feels like you have to confront something or stand up for something because it isn't what you asked for or thought it would be. So yeah, I would just say, just be a little bit mindful of that. Keep your eye on things. I mean, this card literally has like eyes on things there. But also I feel this is, you manifesting something. This literally means what you have in your mind, you can have in your hand. And I feel like you're putting a lot of hard work into making that happen. But also the Five of Wands, it can be that, there's pressure. And the Five of Swords can indicate that you have a lot on your mind and there's tension there. And if you are constantly thinking of like lots of things or having to make a decision on something and fluctuating between the two, I would say that, this is about getting clear about the destination of where it is you want to end up. What is the goal? Okay, so if you're offered an opportunity and you feel this opportunity will help you get to your goal, then, I see it being something, a path that you will actually explore. I mean, you've got the Page of Pentacles here, but also the Knight of Cups. So it really feels like there's two opportunities arriving for you, or something being offered to you that is going to kind of like highlight that you are appreciated in your working environment, but you may need to negotiate some terms and conditions to this in order to get it right. Okay, so that's something that's coming through there as well. I mean, the Five of Wands actually is really positive when it goes into the upright, although, you know, it can represent conflict or things like being a little bit clunky coming together. You know, the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot has 5 people with a wand trying to create a star, and it feels really clumsy, but they're trying to kind of like put everything together, all the pieces slot into place. And there's even like a figure on that card who has like a shirt with polka dots. So it's like, okay, yeah, no one told you it would be easy, but are you enjoying it? And if you're not, what's the missing ingredient? Or how can you change your industry to make sure that you enjoy it a little bit more? Because polka dots always remind you to have fun with what you're doing. Also, some of you may be contemplating a little bit of training at this time. It could be that your training is coming to an end for some of you, and you're going to get a qualification, certification to unlock a new pay grade. For some of you, it could be that you've thought about actually putting yourself on a course of learning in order to upskill or to retrain in something that will benefit your industry or help you migrate skill sets. And I definitely see here that everything comes into alignment for you in the most positive of ways. Now, we do have the star energy. This is your outcome. So this basically means success, recognition. For some of you, if you work in an industry that you know, gives you overseas opportunities, I feel some of you could be trying to be a little bit more kind of nomadic or travel with your work. There could even be some sort of expansion in your industry overseas, or international energy, maybe even clients from overseas being interested in your product or services. Or if you work for a company, this could be someone from overseas coming to your branch, or even you looking for like alternative opportunities overseas in branches connected to your company. But the star energy indicates a good look at where you're going, but also a wish arriving. You know, I feel an opportunity arrives at a time that you've been wishing for it, but also working hard towards it as well. You know, the Knight of Cups is a proposition. Basically, a proposition of something that you've been wishing for. For some of you who have been waiting for news about your industry or an opportunity, I feel it comes in the next 6 weeks, and it's something that makes you so proud of yourself that you've like acquired a win in some way. But also the star energy is a healthier working practice, an opportunity to grow in your industry and embrace new ways of doing things, being inspired, you know, forward thinking is what I'm seeing here. And I really see that, you know, you're coming into alignment with something that is going to be truly exciting indeed. If you think about the nature of a rainbow, it requires rain and it requires sun for it to be truly special and unique. And of course, rain represents hard work, challenges, and the sun is positivity, energy, and of course, success. It's like you're prepared for this opportunity, and when it arrives, you're going to grab it with both hands. But also you're protected and directed at this time. You know, the Hermit energy, especially since we've got a wonderful hand there, and it almost looks like a dream catcher on that hand. So I feel some of you, this is you catching an opportunity that you've dreamed of, because the vision becomes a reality. Knight of Cups is an invitation or an encouragement from the universe to do something that you love, and you will be offered something in return that you're also going to love. So I see this Hermit energy of you either launching an entrepreneurship, going solo, for example, becoming like a consultant, or for some of you, this could also be that you're looking at retirement. When do you want to retire? You know, this could be that, you know, even though you retire, you still may have some sort of solo venture that you do on the side that makes you money, passive income. For some of you, it could be that you are looking at your 401k in the next coming weeks and really like plotting and planning an age that you want to retire at, like a goal or a target. And I see a lot of you are going to be on target, even though the economy looks very challenging right now. I still see that you're going to get opportunities to make it work there as well. Okay, listen out for that song because it is playing again. It could be that there is an opportunity coming in for you at the same time as you hearing that song, and there could be something that is needing a little bit more investigation into it, like hot and cold. I mean, if I look at the energy, hot is all about passion, cold could be logic, okay? Or It could also be that hot and cold, there's something that will be conflicting in that opportunity that you really need to keep your eyes on at this time for it to really benefit you. Okay, so yeah, please apply it to your situation. But it could also be someone changing their mind. If you're someone who's a creative, for example, it could be that you have some sort of brief or some sort of like project where you've agreed the terms and the vision, but the client decides they want to change their mind at the last minute. And it could be that you say, okay, well, I can make those changes, but it's going to cost you a little bit more money. And they may kick back and say, well, no, this is my prerogative. I'm the client. You know, I can take my business elsewhere. And you'll be like, okay, well, I value my services. And if you can find a better service for the money elsewhere, then perhaps I'm not the person for you. I feel like actually they're going to rethink it, and they're going to basically, because diplomatically, I feel like you'll put it to them, but I feel like they love what you do so much. They realize they can't get it better somewhere else. I feel like they were just taking a chance. Okay. So, with that introspection card, if you are taking some time off, because I feel this is like a flurry of activity and then a withdrawal in order to recharge your batteries, but it gives you thinking time in order to plot the next part of your strategy or your plan. And you're someone who is super established. You're someone who has a lot of knowledge. Don't ever doubt that. And we also have that Three of Cups. You know, Three of Cups can be, of course, something exciting coming your way, something you will celebrate, and it may be even good news that comes in and around your birth date. But also I see this card as like, you know, sharing resources or collaborating in some way, or things coming together where, you know, they run smoothly. This is also about you realizing the universe is conspiring on your behalf to, you know, have a shared experience of joy and opportunity. And for some of you, you know, this could be you stepping into the public eye. You know, you may have worked in an industry for a long time where suddenly, you know, this is your moment to shine. And it doesn't have to be that you're going to be famous, but a lot of you, this could be an opportunity where you'll be famous or well known, or your reputation will go from strength to strength. If you're being famous, for example, you know, if you're in an industry where you will be seen by a lot of people, I feel this could do something with your privacy there. This is a call to say, okay, there's going to be a private side and also a public side of you. Make sure you protect your private side, because, you know, people in the public arena, sometimes they're fans. You know, it's nice to have an opportunity to access fans and them have access to you, but they don't have to have access 24/7. So it's very important to keep some private time for yourself. Otherwise you can get lost in all of that. Okay. For some of you, if this is you being really well known for your industry, or, you know, being switched on all the time, whatever it is that you do, sometimes you need to realize that you need to have a break, okay? There needs to be some healthy cutoff time when it comes to the working environment. I mean, even if you're an entrepreneur, you work for yourself, you run your own business, sometimes it's not just 9 to 5. It is actually 24/7, because it's always on your mind. There's always something to do. You're always like flushing with new ideas, for example. And, you know, it's always about you assessing your performance. And I feel a lot of you, even if you work for a company or you're currently out of work right now, this could be that right now you're assessing your performance. And I feel you're someone who has a lot of knowledge and you are at your peak. Okay, and you are demanding roles and opportunities that reflect that, both financially and in terms of opportunity for growth, because I do see there's a lot of growth going on here for you. Okay, now this card can also represent money and luck. So again, I'm being given this energy of you being in the right place at the right time for the right opportunity to expand and grow in your industry, whatever that means for you, because it's going to be different for everybody, of course. Knight of Cups, you're following your heart. You're doing something that you're attracted to doing, but also you have the manifestation card. You're attracting an opportunity because you love what you do. So again, if there's any conflicting energy, like anything you don't like doing, perhaps it's a new approach. I mean, we've all got those tasks and responsibilities that we go, oh, okay, don't really enjoy that, but we have to do them. So it could be some of you are outsourcing that. Perhaps you're like, you know, hiring an accountant or a PA or an assistant, or perhaps there's some sort of technology that can help you do some of the tasks that you don't like doing, so you can free up your time there. For some of you, it could be like end of year that you're doing right now. It could be that your business or, you know, your industry has like an end of year service right now, or like a quarterly kind of service that you have to be on top of. And it feels like the pressure is on, you're getting everything correlated and putting it all together, and then you're done. And then it just feels like a nice release there. But when you get this card, it means something is being offered to you. Now, For some of you, not all of you, depends on the industry you're in, there could be a working event, for example. If you work for a company, this could be some sort of like team building exercise where you hear about an opportunity. With the Hermit there, I feel for some of you, this could be you like apart at the time of you hearing this opportunity. So there could be a group of people talking about an opportunity that's coming up, and you could be like on the sidelines and overhear it, and then you may decide to go for that. For some of you, this could also be, because we have the Hermit there, you know, there could be this clique energy. You know, it could be that you feel like you're on the sidelines looking in, but actually I feel this benefits your catapult to success because you're someone who's diligent and really like focused on work. And I feel the opportunities are going to go to you as opposed to anybody else. And then you may be managing that team or that department. And it just means, you know, sometimes, I mean, I got to be honest here. These two cards, it can literally mean it's lonely at the top sometimes because you got to go and do things that other people are not willing to do for the success that you have. So I do feel that some of you are either experiencing that right now, but it's going to be rewarding. Your soul tribe, you are going to connect to those people. For some of you, this could also be networking opportunities. An industry event could open up. So if you're an entrepreneur, it could be some sort of like expo going on where you go, you know what, I'm going to actually go there and see what it's all about. Maybe it's a talk or a presentation or something. And this is where you may meet people who are like-minded in your industry and, you know, you bond. Because I feel like you walk away with 3 solid connections or 3 solid friendships for life in your industry. They're not competing against you. They celebrate you and they support you and raise you up. You know, even if you work in a company, this could be that you have alliances in a company and suddenly you realize actually you do have support, whereas before you felt there was none. Because there is a bit of a change going on right now in your industry and it just feels like people are paying attention, and it also feels like things are coming together in a positive way. So this Knight of Cups, something is being offered to you that will be pleasure loving, you know. I mean, Knight of Cups is praise. So I feel like you're celebrated for something that you're doing. Even if you're like a little lone maverick out there doing your own business, or whether you are someone who is a freelancer going from job to job, or even if you're currently looking for a job right now, or you work for a company, I just feel like your expertise speaks for itself and it's going to draw more attention to you and you'll be celebrated in your industry. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get some final cards before I close your reading. We have hurtful events. Okay, thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. We've got celebration and we've got poor choices. And finally, we've got a fresh start. Pages bring new energy. So a lot of you, if you have been dealing with some hurtful events, for some of you, as I mentioned earlier, it could be that you lost your job for whatever reason or walked away from something, or it could be that you feel you're on the outside looking in. But I feel the universe wants to reward you for whatever it is that you have been going through at this challenging time. It says, as you endure this period, learn not to dwell on the past so it won't anchor you down. You're breaking free from a disappointment or a heartbreak. For some of you, you know, that hot then you're cold song can be a disappointment. You know, someone changing their mind all the time, making you feel like you don't know where you're at. This could be a toxic working environment as well for some of you that you're moving away from. Also, it could be something that was offered to you that perhaps isn't exactly, and I mentioned that earlier, that you thought it would be. And some of you may actually decide to put your resume out there and find alternative opportunities if you feel like you've hit a glass ceiling. Because the 3 of Wands is to look elsewhere. It is to look at the horizon, to see, you know, what's out there that could benefit you. It can be that you're actually, you know, feeling that you've hit that glass ceiling, or there are poor options in your industry right now. So you may be actually, you know, doing something that complements your industry, maybe as a sideline second stream of income, for example. I mean, let's address your money in the next 6 weeks. I mean, the Page of Pentacles indicates you work hard for your money. There could be a small increase there for some of you, or you get to save a little bit more than you thought. I see a lot of you actually kind of taking down debt or, you know, pooling your resources there for some of you. But I feel like a lot of you, your money kind of like is something that you worked really hard for. And there could be a rebate, though, that comes in, some sort of nice surprise, financial energy. I mean, if you're in a syndicate as well, I don't often get this energy, but if you're in like some sort of like lottery syndicate, there could be a small win for a group of people. I'm not saying everyone should go out there and buy a lottery ticket, not at all. I feel it's something that's already established, but it could be a small win on that that's like a nice little run financially. But it says here, poor choices. Interesting, because if you look at it, it's hot and cold, right? So again, I'm being given this energy by my guides. I'm given the songs to highlight an energy. So it says here, think again before making any decision at this time. Caution is needed. There's a hidden problem. Again, I got that energy of like hidden something in a contract, or something isn't as it seems. Investigate it a little bit more. And it says reconsider, there as well. But blowing hot and cold, if someone is blowing hot and cold on an opportunity, it can be that they don't want to tell you the full deal because it's not going to be something that's benefiting you, if you know what I mean. If something is ready to be offered, it's offered. But if someone's going, oh yeah, it's nearly ready, or it's this, it could be they're offering you an excuse. Even if, you're waiting on something from someone to complete a project, it could be they're giving you an excuse, for example, blowing hot and cold because either the deal's not ready or they haven't done the work, or you could encounter someone like that over the next coming weeks. But I feel like you may have to correct something, or you may have to move ahead without that. But it'll still be a roaring success is what I'm being given. We've also got fresh start there. And it says, this new chapter will require you to take a leap of faith in the process, which is in front of you, a new beginning, a new possibility. So fresh new start doesn't always mean that you're moving into a new role. It can literally be that, it's a new month, or a new kind of like quarter in your industry. Or it could be that, there's a new approach to something, new technology. There's definitely something new coming on in here for you that will benefit you long term. Let's just go and get some final cards. Oh, thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. My guide said, you forgot about the best card of all, and they are right. There is a celebration card here. Okay, how could I forget that one? Kind of blended in there. I mean, the Hermit is a card that blends into the background. So some of you may be very quiet about your success. Maybe that's what that's hinting at there. But it says, this is a great time in your life. Things are progressing with grace and ease like never before. Triumph, parties, fun times. I mean, Three Cups can also be parties, either team building exercises or being offered an opportunity to join people after work for, some sort of event. There could be some like team bonding or camaraderie in your industry that you felt has been lacking for some time, but I feel something is coming in that you will celebrate. And we've got New Horizons, another new energy here, and temporary. My guys want me to shuffle one more time, so I will. I feel the pressure is temporary, or the challenge has been temporary. It may not feel like it when you're in the middle of it. Sometimes when we're trying to finish something, it can feel like a lot of pressure, and then it's done, and you're like, oh, okay. Wow, that was challenging, but you can celebrate yourself that it's over now. But for some of you with that temporary energy, it could be that you're doing second streams of income, as I mentioned, or moonlighting for some of you, or perhaps launching something on the side, or even deciding to take some temporary freelance work, for example. Maybe seeing how something goes. You may not know how it's going to go, but actually it's going to expand your contacts, clientele, and opportunities, as well as money. But it says temporary. You may have many jobs before finding the one that you really love. Money comes and goes. So, of course, as money comes in, I mean, we didn't get any cards at the end there to suggest that your money kind of like goes. But, of course, nature, it stands to reason that as soon as your money comes in, it's going to go on bills. Page of Pentacles, small increase, but it's practical money. It's you making an effort to do a bit of saving, reinvesting in yourself in courses of learning, or doing things to treat yourself, for example. Some of you could be applying for opportunities that are temporary right now, or, have some sort of probation period where you can staircase later on if it's a deal, and, it's going to bring in more money. But we've also got New Horizons here. New Horizons really connects with that Three of Wands. It's like, what else is out there? How can I, build my empire, expand my reach? you got to be curious, and you are a very curious sign. It says here, your dreams are within your reach, so keep going. Fortune is on your side, and I definitely feel that in your energy, okay? It may be challenging. That's why I got this energy. Like, nobody said it would be easy, but I feel like you're going to find it is rewarding, and you're going to be so proud of yourself. We've also got personal power. And it says here, personal power, you unlock the key to your own success. So unlock the door and inquire within. I mean, that hermit energy is you inquiring within. What makes you passionate? What sets your soul on fire? A lot of you, you are running at capacity. You're feeling overworked, overstretched, exhausted, but, you're a passionate person. So you are someone who will lead with passion, and, you will expand on opportunities. You always find a way to overcome any challenges or obstacles. And finally, we've got good luck. I mentioned earlier, that anything you turn your hand to, you're really good at it. And it literally says here, everything you touch blooms and thrives like magic. And that is the Magician card. So I'm loving that continuity in the energy. It says changing fortunes. So I would say that this is a time of you blossoming, but if you really think about the nature of something blossoming, a seed is planted in the earth. And that's when you can feel like you're buried, that there's a lot of stuff on you to do, and you can't see the changes, but it's happening. That little seed is germinating in there. It is like doing some moves that no one can see. And I feel some of you could be doing some projects that you haven't revealed yet or that nobody knows about, but then suddenly the sprout, then suddenly it starts to grow. So I feel you're in a time of growth in your industry that you will celebrate. And I feel this is an exciting time for you to expand your horizons. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune for you before we close. Okay, we've got the Ankh. Okay, so this is about belief in oneself. It's about you religiously showing up for yourself. It's really about personal power, literally about power, okay? So I would say look out for that sign. It could be a sign or a symbol that you'll see a lot of over the coming weeks. It's about your power. It's about your strength. It's about your endurance, your perseverance, but also you commanding as a force what it is that you want. And, this can be like the vision planning that I was mentioning earlier. It's like you can see the vision and now you're stepping into your power to make it become a reality. Only leaders and rulers hold the Ankh or the staff with an Ankh on it. So I really feel this is you taking charge of your destiny, but also leading the way in an industry that perhaps you're going to change in some way. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I hope something resonates there for you, my beautiful Aries. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press that little notification bell. Lets you know when I update my next message. Lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Aries, and love and light.